We use it every single week. It is one of the most ubiquitous objects in modern existence. It's the vehicle of consumerism. Imagine walking into a massive supermarket today without one. How many items could you physically carry? 5, maybe 10 if you have good balance? The shopping cart is the invisible engine of a global economy. But here's the twist. When it was first invented in 1937, it wasn't hailed as a breakthrough. In fact, it was a complete failure. Shoppers hated it. Men refused to touch it. Women were insulted by it. So, how did a rejected invention become something we literally cannot live without? The answer was right there, under our noses. To understand the cart, we have to go back to the 1930s. The concept of self-service was still relatively new. Before this, you would stand at a counter, hand a list to a clerk, and he would fetch your items. But supermarkets were changing. They wanted you to walk around and pick things up yourself. They gave you small, handheld wire baskets. And this created a physical limit to profits. There was a fundamental flaw in the system: anatomy. As soon as a basket got too heavy, the customer would stop shopping and head to the checkout. The weight of the basket was literally weighing down the store's revenue. Enter Sylvan Goldman, the owner of the Humpty Dumpty supermarket chain in Oklahoma City. He watched his customers struggle. He knew that if he could just make it easier for them to carry more, they would buy more. One late night in 1937, Goldman was staring at a simple wooden folding chair in his office. That was his eureka moment. He thought, what if I put wheels on this chair? And what if I put one basket on the seat and another basket underneath? He grabbed a handyman named Fred Young, and together they started tinkering. It wasn't pretty. It was essentially a metal frame on wheels that held 2 wire baskets. But it had a crucial feature: it was foldable. Supermarkets back then had narrow aisles and limited storage. They couldn't have hundreds of rigid carts taking up space. Goldman's invention could be folded up and leaned against the wall. He called it the folding basket carrier. He was ready to revolutionize retail, or so he thought. On June 4, 1937, Goldman proudly lined up his new invention at the entrance of his store. He waited for customers to rush in and grab them. But nobody did. The resistance was psychological, and it came from 2 very different directions. First, the men. In the 1930s, the male ego was fragile. Men felt that pushing a cart was a sign of weakness. They thought, I have strong arms, I don't need help to carry a loaf of bread. Then the women. Many of them were mothers. Their reaction was even sharper. One woman told Goldman, I've been pushing a baby carriage all day. I'm not pushing another one in here. The invention was a logical success, but an emotional failure. Goldman was desperate. He knew the cart worked. He just had to break the social stigma. So he did something brilliant and slightly manipulative. He hired actors. Goldman paid a diverse group of people, an older woman, a young man, a mother, to walk around his store all day pushing the carts and filling them with groceries. When real customers came in and saw these decoy shoppers using the carts effortlessly, the social pressure shifted. The cart went from being weak to being trendy. The actors created a habit where there was none. Once the stigma was broken, sales skyrocketed. But the folding cart had one last flaw. You had to unfold it every time. Years later, another inventor, Orla Watson, created the telescoping cart with a swinging rear door. The ones we stack together today. The impact of this simple metal cage is impossible to overstate. Without the shopping cart, the big box store could not exist. Walmart, Costco, Tesco, they rely on the fact that you have a vehicle to transport bulk items. It changed our architecture, our aisles, and our diets. It turned shopping from a chore into an experience of accumulation. Sylvan Goldman died a wealthy man, having changed the world with a folding chair and some wheels. So, the next time you grab a cart with a wobbly wheel, remember, you are not just holding a metal basket. You are holding a piece of psychological engineering that had to fight to exist. It's a reminder that the biggest changes in history are often hiding in plain sight. right under our noses. Thanks for watching.